Welcome to the WSL post-show. Saffron skies and the cool cloak of sunset greeted us to crown our champions for the 2025 Surf Abu Dhabi Longboard Classic here in the United Arab Emirates. 7 Emiratis make up this wonderful country. Abu Dhabi, the capital. My name is Sam Bleakley. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm joined by Carla Rowland Zamora from Malibu, Josh Constable all the way from Noosa. Josh, starting with you, we ended at sunset and we ended in style.
Yeah, we've been coming at sunrise, leaving at sunset every day. Hasn't disappointed, but the performances in that final were just like next level, and man, what a day.
And it's also coming to that climax of an amazing season as well, Carla. We're kind of now shaping up our opportunities for our top 8 surfers to go for our 2025 world title. But what a great experience for them all to be here in the United Arab Emirates in the last week.
It really is a remarkable experience. It's a dream, if you will, to come to an area like this and surf in the longest wave pool in the world. And as you mentioned, the different colors that come through the day, and the crystal blues and the greens, and then as the sun starts to set, how it gets golden. And yeah, you can be of any level of surfing. You don't have to be a pro surfer to come experience this kind of wave. So people really need to come check it out. And
we saw the highest level of the point break setting being used for the competition last year. Now we're into Kelly's wave, a higher setting. Who did that favor, do you think, having that opportunity to really showcase the tube riding more in the repertoire around the rail work and nose riding?
Well, just as you say, those people that were able to get into those tubes and those barrels and set it up appropriately and accordingly were able to get the scores needed. And that's why our winners, Edouard and Honolua, were the top barrel riders really in this event.
And Josh, one of the cool formats was the fact that you've got to have your right and your left. You've got to do it both ways.
Yeah, you got to be versatile in your surfing. And like you said, Carla, it's versatile in your performances and also going left and right, front side, back side. What was kind of cool as well this week is we saw surfers opting to do switch foot to get then face forward so that they were front side.
Yep.
Kevin Scavana and obviously Honolua, and really using that on the in section for some barrels. So they were highlights as well, like just to be the versatility also to throw that out under pressure, doing switch under pressure. Crazy.
Just to have that IQ, to have that understanding of, I'm not feeling it on the heels, I need to go toes.
Absolutely. Well, let's look at our women's road to the finals. Let's bring up that bracket and see who really shone, Carla. Highlights from the quarters through to that final for you.
Yeah, well, that first heat, that quarterfinal heat with Rachel against Tully. Rachel's such a formidable force, but Tully was really showing style throughout the event, but just not really making the go there.
What about you, Josh? Big moments in that?
Big moments. I'm a big Chloe Calmon fan, so like that one tube that she got was really cool. They were all great.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Honolua's waves, because she was absolutely on fire from the get-go. The power and the precision and the style, demonstrating that full variety of rail work and getting in the pocket, but staying tall and poised on the nose and bringing that mum power all the way, Carla, with baby Rain just 6 months old.
The mum power was definitely in full force for Hano during this event, and I think just having that blessings behind her just helped her just ease through and not really have that extra pressure, and she was able to lay it all down on the waves here.
And Josh, you said keeping this Carson Myers on ice could be a good call for the El Salvador finals coming up.
Yeah, it's a fantastic board under her feet right now, and the turns for me, there was 2 standouts for Honolua through this event, was like the drive and the like just the power in her surfing, and then obviously the tube riding. There was no other females that were mixing it up. There were females getting barreled, but Honolua was hunting them in every wave, and she had purpose when she was going for that, Sam.
And a big element of that line out of the nose riding was that commitment to put the board on rail, to really change direction. There it is, so deep, and that sets her up to come into this barrel with that line and readjustment, Josh.
Yeah, just driving, and then the projection forward out of it, and that one she got low, and then she realized she needed to get forward on a board, and there was that slight subtle shuffle forward, and then just getting that forward momentum through the tube. couple of things, but that board, as an athlete, you need to keep those favourites and these turns, and you can see it driving out of that bottom turn. It looks really good under her feet.
And Carla, of course, she had that 2-hour break before the final, as did Avalon, but it didn't deter neither of the surfers' performances.
No, none whatsoever. Both of them came on with the heat and put the pressure on one another. But it was Hana that was really the one that was able to come through, and it was just that setup, as you mentioned, Josh, and those turns. I love the way she brings power in it, but she slides the tail out of that last bit of moment in that cutback that just really throws an extra bit of spice.
So she was our 2025 Surf Abu Dhabi Longboard Classic champion with her partner Clay, a legendary professional skateboarder from Oceanside, and her baby Ranger, 6 months old. It was an emotional moment. It brought tears to our eyes, and I'm sure viewers around the world would have really appreciated that. And as that sun started to set, we crowned our first champions. Blomfield take the win with that 927 and that 733. Gall, Avalon, she's already our yellow jersey wearing #1 seed, sitting there in that title match. She took second, and she is going to be hungry to perform in El Salvador, Josh.
Yeah, the performances down there, I think for Honolua, getting the win, I don't think it dints Avalon's confidence going down there, but for Honolua now to the belief, yes, I'm back, I can win. It's been a few years since she's been able to win, and then going down there with a great board under her feet, the mindset's really positive. Man, she could be a real threat down there.
There could be a possibility we could have a rematch.
Absolutely.
In El Sal.
We will find out pretty soon. But in the meantime, let's have a look at how the men fared. Let's see that bracket from the quarters through to the semis, all the way through to that grand final. Carla, who got you excited in those quarters from the get-go?
There were so many exciting moments, actually, and it wasn't necessarily from those that won the heat. Earlier, you mentioned Oliver Packham, and he was somebody right from the get-go that just kind of blew my mind and just opened my eyes to a whole nother approach.
Yeah, and for me, Chase as well, the performance we saw from him, he's young, and he comes with real, I don't want to say arrogance, but
gusto.
Yeah,
Gusto.
And he's ready, hey, I'll take on anyone. I don't mind. Just give me the wave and let me do it.
Show me your card. I'm calling you on your cards. Show
totally.
me.
And also quarter four, Declan's performance on day one.
Yeah.
Almost like a Edouard, how he was carving into those tubes was crazy. And I don't feel like he clicked today, unfortunately. He's up against the defending champ, so he had to be on his game. But let's check this out, Sam.
Yeah, well, these were the waves. Edouard Delpero's journey to the finals from the quarters, matching up with Taylor Jensen as well a number of times through the event. But his tube riding, Carla, was second to none.
Just he came on right from the get-go. That first heat was a super high-scoring heat. Edouard taking it in and just stuck, as we've been talking about, that formula. He really stuck to this formula for the majority of the event, and really the key was just locking in these barrel rides that were just so deep.
And this was the first heat of the day, and against Taylor Jensen, who's current world champ, and he came out, and everyone around the contest area were oh my gosh, okay, is this what we're going to need to do to get excellent scores?
It was. That's exactly what happened. The whole vibe, everybody kind of changed. It was all right, this is the bar that we have to meet.
It was that line, unlocking, going into that section, which me and Carla nicknamed the area where you find the golden abacus, and that's where the big scores were revealed. But out of that line, he would again go on rail like we saw from Honolua Blomfield, really having to do that big setup turn, but then the skill to be still accelerating through the bowl, which had caught many people out through this event.
Yeah, and it was, you couldn't get too deep too early. You had to wait for it and be in front of it, and both our champions read that inside section the best.
And Josh, big shout out to Alan Minvel, of course, the designer of the boards under the feet of Edouard Delpero, and the fact that he won at the Surf Ranch in 2021 and he wins his next World Longboard Tour event here at the Basin at Surf Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, they've thought out what needs to happen here in the pool. You need to carve, you need to be able to pull in, and they've just refine this surfboard to really suit his surfing and also matching the wave.
That was a cool gesture, Carlo, when he just gave the El Saluto to the curling lip and then pulls into that inside barrel.
There's so much flavor and passion that comes from the Frenchman that whether he's surfing in these incredible conditions or coming out on the beach and finding out that he wins, you feel the power from him.
And Sam, we go back to like board design, like it's been a little while since someone's won on a 2+1 and more of a like curvier rocket board. It's not a high pro, but it's you know, it's got those elements, and he surfs so well. So like
I'm really glad that you bring that up because I think there's a lot of people watching that it might be some naysayers being like, well, that's not authentic, but it is.
There are the results. Delpero takes the win, beats Sawyer. An amazing result for both surfers, but it's Edouard who is now our yellow jersey wearing #1 seed sitting there for that title match at Surf City, El Salvador. And with that, let's go down to the presentation because Paul Evans is ready to kick things off.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Welcome, everybody. Salamu alaikum. Ahlan wa sahlan. This is the awards presentation for the Surf Abu Dhabi Longboard Classic 2025. And what an incredible event it's been here. Second ever longboard event at this facility. And it's been memorable for all sorts of reasons. A state-of-the-art wave and some unbelievable performances, particularly today. And a completely unique venue, which really has just showed us how elite longboarding is and where we're at with the level. It's been really, really impressive. We'd like to offer special thanks to our partners, Surf Abu Dhabi, Modon, and Experience Abu Dhabi. Surfing in general, but longboarding in particular, it's really proud of its heritage and its history. But right here, we're really celebrating the future. No one really encapsulates that as a venue as much as Surf Abu Dhabi. It's been amazing to be back here once again. Our panel to give out the awards tonight will include Will Hayden-Smith. He's Director of Longboard and Regional Tours for the World Surf League. We got Jamie Dean, Executive Director for Sports for Modon. And of course, Ryan Watkins, General Manager at Surf Abu Dhabi. Yeah, Ryan? All right, first of all, we'll welcome up someone who's got a unique and very special relationship with this wave. He went all the way to get the win last year, an incredible win. He went to the final once again this year. He's been unbelievably entertaining throughout. Your runner-up for the men, all the way from J-Bay, South Africa, Stevie Sawyer. Stevie, mate, let's get a word. Obviously, you would have loved to go all the way for the win, but how special is this wave for you, and how come you're so good at surfing it?
I just, honestly, last year and this year has been the closest I've ever been to the Lord in any aspect of my sports, and I mean, just tapping into the presence has been something so surreal for me. I mean, I've been in tears before the heat, you know. It's been eye-opening, and I mean, I just hope I can shine that light for everyone else to see how close they can get to the Lord, you know. I mean, this is just, it's beyond my plan. I mean, obviously I would like to do everything that I would like to do, but I think that if you set yourself in line with what God has for you, your life is actually even way better than you could make it. So this is proof of it, you know. 2 finals in a row. A wrong one. That is proof of it. This one's proof of it. Okay, cool. You know, it's so cool to get here 2 years in a row and have finaling positions. So, man, it's surreal, honestly. And I also gave it away on my backhand. I was trying really hard just to push. And my second right I put my foot further on the rail so I could slide my board a little further out, drag a little harder. And I ended up, so I was thinking a second ahead, and my foot slipped off, and only once I was on my belly, I was like, oh no, what's just happened? And next thing I was going over the falls. So it's just, that's how it goes, you know, when you're really pushing it and you put yourself on the edge. If I was standing on a 100-foot cliff, I probably would have fell off.
Well, congratulations, mate. Your men's runner-up, Stevie Sawyer. All right, next up, let's talk about someone who showed us just unbelievable style throughout the event here and just her overall demeanor. It's really interesting to see different characters, the way different people approach surfing, particularly on the longboard tour. We do have some really unique characters. One of them is our winners runner-up, an amazing performance from California, Avalon Gall. Avalon, you were so polished throughout. Didn't quite happen for you in the final. It was a great final. Just tell us your thoughts about being over here and making this final, how special this moment is for you.
It's really special, especially to share it with one of my best friends, and I'm so happy for her and proud of her, and she surfs so amazing all event.
Love it. Your women's runner-up, Avalon Gall. Let's get into the champs. All right, well, next up, we're going to welcome someone who was always going to be a favorite in this kind of technology. His last win came at the Surf Ranch over in Lemoore, California. An unbelievable tube rider. The tubes have been a real theme on the new setting that we surf here this year. Let's make some noise for the men's champion, your new #1 seed in the yellow jersey for final from France, Edouard Delpero. Mate, love it. The emotion from you, the outpouring here, it's been incredible. You've been steely focused throughout, but out in the water, your performances have been so consistent. You've found unbelievable tubes. You've seen some vision that very few people have seen. Tell us about that experience.
I just love it, man. Getting 8 barrels per session, that was the best. So now I really enjoy the wave. The setup this year was amazing, and I had fun, and that was the most important. I was really looking forward to get barreled this year, and I got, so the win is a bonus. It's amazing.
You got the win, you got barreled, you got the yellow jersey too as well for finals. How big is that?
I don't know, you tell me. I don't know, man. It's we'll see what happens, but it's definitely a reward from also the contest in Bells that I had a pretty good contest there and didn't make it through all the end, but this year, like here, and making the win here and making me #1 right now, it's kind of crazy, you know, so we'll see what happens.
Un petit mot en français pour tout ce qui te soutient.
Merci à tout le monde, merci, je suis sûr que vous êtes beaucoup si derrière votre écran, et juste vraiment une pensée pour ma chérie Lindsay, mon petit bébé, et voilà, j'espère rentrer très vite et être avec vous. Je vous aime, merci beaucoup. À très vite.
Your men's champion and the new world #1, Edouard Delpero. All right, next up, let's celebrate someone who's been on a really special journey. She's a 3-time world champ, but competed this year. She did it with something else. She did it with mum's strength. It's been an incredible part of her story throughout this event. She's been amazing. Speaking of that tube, she's found it and impressed us so much. And she's impressed the judges as well. She is the champion. Let's welcome up from the North Shore, Honolua, Blomfield. Honolua, how special is this moment for you?
I truly have no words. Yeah, I mean, I guess just coming here, not expecting much, I guess. I did not great this year, so I was a little defeated, but I just had to believe in myself, and yeah, I guess this is what happens.
Wow, it was amazing. We were really impressed. Well done. Let's make some noise for Honolua and for all our champions and runner-up. And we'll throw it back to you guys for the rest of the post show.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Paul Evans, and congratulations, our second place surfers, Avalon and Stevie, and our winners, Honolua and Edouard Delpero. Great presentation there, good energy, and a lot of positivity moving forwards to the finals in El Salvador.
Yeah, I mean, for Edouard, it's an incredible achievement to already, have gotten into this top seed. So he's just definitely going to have the fire.
Josh, talk about seeding. How much of a difference is it going to make in those matches to be a higher seed, maybe a top seed for the title match versus some of those lower seeds? And we can really get some depth on that when we look at our spread of surfers for Surf City El Salvador.
Yeah, you guys have been there. You know how long the wave is, how hot the temperature, like it zaps you, and it's a one-day affair. So to not have to do so many heats, repetition of paddling back out and being exhausted, like these guys are athletes and they train and they prepare for that, but still just to be in there with fresh legs towards the end is a big deal.
Well, let's make sense of that. Let's look at our women's bracket for Surf City El Salvador, the Longboard Championships coming up between the 5th and the 9th of November. We can see match 1, Kelis Kaleopa'a, Rachel Tilly and Tully White. Winner goes to meet Chloe Calmon and Hiroki Yoshikara in match 2. Winner of that into Surfer on Surfer match 3. Honolua Blomfield now seed 3. Winner of that goes to match 4 to meet seed 2, Soleil Erico. And then into the title match, waiting, wearing the yellow jersey, Avalon Gall. If she wins the first of the best of 3, then she takes the win. If she loses it, it becomes a best of 3. So this new formula really favors that number 1 seed, Carla.
Yeah, Avalon going in as that top seed, it's going to take off a lot of pressure and make a lot of work happen for a lot of the other ladies lower down the seed. So it's going to be interesting to see who's able to kind of battle the temps and the longer paddles to make it to the round with Avalon.
And if you come from match 1 and you steamroll all the way to the title match, that's at least 3 hours of surfing, and heat surfing, it zaps you. It's exhausting. The heat, the paddling, just everything. So, like, it's a battle of nutrition, a battle of fitness, and going into those final stages with the seeding, it's huge.
Yeah, and a cool thing, if you don't know much of the facts about Big Wednesday, a lot of the surfing scenes were filmed in El Salvador. So if you want to warm up to watch some of the men feast on some of the brilliant surfing that you saw in Big Wednesday, and that prepares you for the style of right-handers that we will see being ridden by the men for our 2025 World Longboard Championship. Let's bring up that title bracket there, and we can really now see that spread with Steven Sawyer and Declan Whiten and J.R. Esquivel in that first match, winner meeting Kevin Scavana and Max Weston. And then it goes to the surfer on surfer format for match 3. TJ Taylor Jensen, 3rd seed. They would meet the winners of that third match. Match 4, our 2nd seed Kai Ellis Flint, and then again sitting there in the yellow jersey, Edouard Delpero. If he wins the first of the title matches, he's world champion. If it goes to a loss for him, he's got an opportunity for a best of 3, Josh.
Yeah, I really like this new format for the surfers, especially going in with the yellow jersey, and you just need one heat to win, and if it doesn't go your way, you've got a little backup plan to move forward. But there's a couple of, and if you're sitting at home right now, like, you can really play around with this match 1. I think Declan's going to win, and then he's going to come up, and you can kind of make little formulas all the way through, and then you see a Taylor Jensen, you're like, whoa, he's one out there, and he can steamroll a couple, so it's exciting.
Okay, a couple of factors, Carla. Sun Zhao, it's a long paddle, it's hot. It's one of those few places where the water is hotter than the air. Looking at that list of names, are there certain people who you think it'll favour with regards to fitness and that kind of front-side approach?
Well, funny, I wasn't thinking about a front-sider. I was thinking about J.R. Esquivel.
Nice.
And he's in that bottom seed, but he has got so much stamina, and he's so fit, he's so focused, and he really gets that eye of the tiger down.
Yeah.
That if there's somebody that's going to come from the low seed and bring it all the way through, my money's on JR.
It's funny, Carla, because I was thinking the same, and coming from the Philippines, he's used to that sort of higher, like, warm water and the temperature and being, like, sweating all the time. And
you may not know because you haven't been to La Union yet, but the wave at Sunzal is very similar to the point at Mona Lisa there that he knows so well. The kid surfs it day and night, glassy, middle of the day when it's choppy. So he really fits in well to that wave.
Could you see Kevin Scavana taking the win, Josh? What would he need to bring to the table in El Salvador?
yeah, and again, I haven't been there, but just from watching, I'm a surf geek, I'm a surf fan. I watch it the last year while it was there. It has a feeling to Bells Beach for me as well,
Yeah,
like
hot
kind of
water bells.
Yeah, like bigger open ocean, And the performances that we saw from Kevin at Bells this year, you're like, whoa, he kind of suits that. And then Max Weston is down the bottom, and he won at Bells. So then you start throwing Max in there, and then Taylor's won there in the past, and then all of a sudden you get confused, and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to sit on the TV and eat popcorn and watch it, because
it's anyone's go.
it is. And then it comes to like the heat, and who just on the day wakes up like, all right, I'm ready, I'm on. So pretty cool.
Wow, it's going to be on. You must tune in for that. But in the meantime, let's look at our top 5 from finals day here at the 2025 Surf Abu Dhabi Longboard Classic. Coming in at 5, it's that 9.43 in the open round 1 from Edouard Delpero. Carla, he just hit the ground running from the get-go, exploiting that barrel section to its maximum opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, he came on so hot and so heavy that he really changed, I think, everybody's approach right off the bat and realized, okay, this is what we have to do. And it's not just to get nose rides and to get some turns, but to get powerful turns with the barrels.
We started to see the repertoire shining in style, and it really paid off. Edouard Delpero putting on a show, coming in at number 5, but at number 4 from the final, this 9.6, he'd already lost, but he gets a near perfect ride.
It's this turn here, like see how far the nose goes back to the pocket? That's what blew the judge's mind, and then it just set him up for this tube so deep and so committed. For me, this is like a really sick ride, side slip boogie right there.
I was going perfect 10 all the way here. I absolutely love the line. I love the lock and the hold and the way that wave grows for that nose riding section, and then in trim he just gets low. He kind of leans in and comes cleanly out, and then ends with that charismatic rail work on his Brazil Model 97 that he won the comp in last year. But coming in at number 3, Honolua Blomfield, her 2 9.8s in round 2 on the rights, and then into the semi-final right. Carla, what a combination of surfing she demonstrated.
There's not too many people that garner 2 9.8s in an event, but Hano did so, and did so with just such precision, and just gave the judges exactly what they were looking for.
And Josh, the lines that she was taking, the rail work in amongst this nose work allowed her to go deep to get in the barrels.
Yeah, it all comes from the rail work, setting up these big carves. Like, man, you could see the fin, it was that far on edge, and then here just reading. And you talk about Edouard looking up a little bit. He's looking down the line, but looking up at the lip. If you look at Honolua as well, she kind of looks up to the roof of the barrel too.
And our men's winner coming in at number 2, born in Marseille, based in Biarritz, Edouard Delpero, unruffled all the way through. And from that opening round, he had a repertoire, and he just fine-tuned it day by day.
Day by day, he just kind of kept to the same deal, but just making it better and better. And he knew, we heard in one of his interviews that, he knew he likes this wave. He knew he wanted to get barreled on it, and he was ready to do so. But what was great was it wasn't just the barrels. It was those really awesome cutbacks in the rail work that he just continued with that speed, that power and flow.
Well, he was our champion. He's our number 1 seed going into El Salvador. He was pumped, but coming in at number 1 after Edouard took that fantastic win, raising his hands to the sky, it was Honolua Blomfield. She is our women's champion, and what an impressive performance, having become a mum just 6 months ago here with baby Rain. JC, you really enjoyed the lines that she took, and a lot of us had our money on her from the first ride she rode.
Yeah, and just different approaches, different lines. She didn't really have as much a formula as, say, like Edouard had a formula. She was really feeling it, but I just love the read on this inside tube section. Again here, just creeping forward. Look at her eyes looking up in that lip just to see where that was throwing over her, and then jamming calves after the barrel. It was a great performance. I'm just happy to see her back, because the performances early, and she sort of mentioned that earlier today, that she hasn't been herself and hasn't put the performances on, but to come back now and share this special moment with her young new family, like, that's what it's all about.
Amazing stuff. And Carla, my question for you, longboard fans tuning in, what will be the most inspiring thing that they would have picked up in these last 3 days?
Well, you can't walk away from from Honolua, coming in strong, not feeling that confident, but having had a baby 6 months ago, like I challenged that there wasn't a dry eye in the house during those interviews, and just seeing her be able to have that power of motherhood come into her surfing. As I said earlier, I think it shows all women of what we're capable of.
And Josh, for those up-and-coming competitive longboarders, what would they have picked up from this event?
Yeah, I feel like the community, like the celebration of longboarding, what we saw today, or all event. Like I just feel like if you weren't a fan, but you watched, you were a fan, and you're a longboarder, and you're going to your local shaper because it's freaking cool. And you can do all style of surfing. Like, longboarding's in right now, and get amongst it. Like, it was epic.
It was epic. A pleasure to have your company, Carla and Josh, and a pleasure to have your company. Thanks so much for tuning in, but we'll be back real soon, because between the 5th and the 9th of November, we have the Surf City El Salvador Longboard Championships to crown our 2025 WSL World Longboard Champion. Watch the highlights first, and we'll see you in about 10 days.
Your mother's got flavor, your father's got flavor, your sister and your brother and your cousin's got flavor. Flavor that you crave so much. Flavor with boom, flavor that goes crunch. Who's got flavor? Who's got flavor? Who's got flavor? Who's got flavor? Yeah, funky hip hop. Feel a beat drop, hour after hour, sweet never sour. Kick it like horsepower. Who's got flavor? Who's got flavor? Who's got flavor? Who's got flavor? Another ho-hum evening, sitting there scheming, feeding for the flavor and the seasoning. Who's got flavor? Yeah, that's it. Let me pick the microphone up and spit and bust it. Careful, easy does it. Did enough to go around, and I know you all love it. It's the flavor that you're saving, so do yourself a favor, sit back and relax and enjoy the ultimate track. Patty cake, bake this pan. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Roll it up, put it in the pan. Bake it as fast as you can. Now tell me, who's got flavor? 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 The drugs have flavor? Nah. Does war have flavor? Nah. Does violence have flavor? Nah. Terrorism has flavor? Nah. Hatred has flavor? Nah. The whack has flavor? Nah. Now tell me, who's got flavor? 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 The drugs have flavor? Nah. Does war have flavor?
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.